we doing? Today I'm going to be reviewing Tack, a very beautiful game. This is a two-player board game for ages 12 and up and plays around 10 to 30 minutes. It's a really awesome abstract board game, to be honest with you. I'm a huge fan of it. This is a game that when you are playing chess, when you're playing checkers, and you want a game that's kind of similar but also plays very different from the others, pull out Tack. This game's beautiful. It uses wooden pieces, as so. It comes with a board with two sides, a regular wood side or the more floral side. So it changes. So that little things like that make a big difference for games like these, because it's just interesting. It's just fun to make decisions, fun to make choices. Tack, a beautiful game, is a strategic abstract board game. So let's go ahead and get into how we play it. We'll go ahead and start with my first setup that I want to show off to play is the 3x3. So each player gets 10 pieces, 10 of the stones. So the first move, you're actually going to take your opponent's piece and place it somewhere, okay? So let's say that I'm the white player. Now I have the option to choose if I want to go this way or if I want to go this way. However, the brown player can only go from this side to this side. The point of the game is to get to the other side of the board. A couple things to look out for is what moves you have. On your turn, you can place a flat stone. So let's say brown player goes. He's going to go ahead and get going right across. Now, white player has an option. So let's use one of his moves. He can play a standing stone. So since he knows that the next move can realistically end the game, he's going to put a standing stone. Now, brown player cannot go through that standing stone. So what's another move that a player can do? Well, maybe brown player doesn't like this start anymore, and he wants to start moving somewhere else. Simple. He's going to move. Exactly what I said. So you stack. So he's going to take this piece and stack it like that. That's another move you can do. So player white goes again. White player is just going to simply play a piece here. He didn't win though, because walls are not roads. So black player goes again. What's he going to do? Well, now that he can move pieces, why don't we go ahead and do that? He picks up the entire stack and, like Mancala, moves accordingly. Okay, so let's change it up a bit. Let's make it a little larger, a 5x5. Alright, so here we have a 5-player board. And as you can tell, game's already getting pretty heated here. We have the capstones involved now, and each player also has 21 pieces. But we're not going to use much of these pieces. We're just going to stick to what we have here. So as you can tell, we have a couple stacks. We have a stack with a capstone. We have a capstone by itself. So what can a capstone do? Capstone is going to show you exactly right now by winning the game. He's going to knock over a wall. Now makes it flat. He's also going to stand on it. Or he's controlled this deck. I said he's going to win the game because at this point, all they have to do is fill in these two. Very easy to do with the way the board's set up. So let's let white player go. White player is going to start moving his stack. Now he can't move his stack on top of capstones, so he's going to move backwards. He's going to pick up the entire thing, or he's just going to move Mancala in order to fill that in. Looks like white's getting ready to win too right here. So what's black going to do? Black's going to fill in that last piece. Now what I think black's going to do is going to be a little tricky, but we're going to see what white's going to do. Looks like he's going to win the game. But what was black going to do? He was going to try to move his capstone, leaving this available. Now his player could either move it or leave it there, but all black had to do was Mancala his pieces over. It could be one piece or two piece, and he'd win too. That's one of the ways to win. Another way to win is by having all the pieces out and nobody won yet, which can happen from stacking and such, which is another way to end the game. It's not actually winning. And the last way to win is called double road. It's a way that you set it up where a player wins for both teams. I haven't seen it yet. It's very rare. now that we've seen how to play it, let's go ahead and go over a couple of the components and a few of the mechanics. So, like you've seen, there's different types of pieces in this game, different sizes for depending on which player you're playing as. You have the stones for both teams, brown and white. You also have the capstones. As we've seen in the game, they're very important pieces for building strategy. But with smaller games, it's still fun when you're not using them because you have to think a little harder. The box is nice. It fits the pieces pretty well, as you can see here. There's a rule book, and the board is sturdy. It's hard cardboard. It's really cool being able to choose if you want to play a 3x3 game, or a 4x4, or 3x3, or 4x4, 5x5, 6x6. There's a lot of ways to play this. You could also do that with the floral side as well. Just, it's going to be a little more difficult, but I like to play it on this board personally. So it's never going to be a game that you will play and then overplay because there's so many ways to play it. Depending on how big the board is, you add more pieces to it. If you want to play a smaller game, if you want to play a faster game, if you want to change your strategy up, because each size is a completely new strategy. You can play this with a lot of people, a lot of different types of people. People who don't play board games, people who are really into strategy games, people who are into thematic games. I mean, I'm not saying that this is thematic, but it's just a game that you'll put on and it's just different. And I like that. It's nice to see difference every once in a while.